Hey everyone, my name is Anna. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm focusing on the topic of introverted feeling, which, as most of us know, is the dominant function in the INFP function stack. The dominant function is the most preferred, the favorite, the most natural way of interacting with and processing information about life. And because it's the most natural, unless it's suppressed and therefore underused or underdeveloped, it normally acquires the most amount of strength and skill out of all the functions in the function stack. But what is the feeling function, and what does it mean to have introverted feeling as our dominant function? How does it shape our personalities and our lives? In everyday life, we use the word feeling to describe a wide range of experiences, ranging from emotion to physical sensation to intuitive impulses. But in the MBTI system, the feeling function is distinguished from this broad spectrum of uses, and according to Jung, it is simply evaluating and judging what something is worth. I think it is particularly worth distinguishing the feeling function from emotion, because while emotion can be described as having a reaction to life, as being affected in a certain way by life, the feeling function operates independently from emotion and reaction. It is a judging function, and it is making decisions and forming conclusions about life using a process of evaluation. And these evaluations can be detached from emotion and built from a much more calculated place that is assessing the value and worth of something. In the first video in this series on the INFP function stack, using the lake imagery, I described the feeling function as an immersive, enveloping, fluid way of interacting with life, like the water of a lake. And this evaluation process of the feeling function I see as akin to being plunged into the water and enveloped by a sense of truth, immersed in a sense that something has value or worth, fluidly binding ourselves with what feels right or true or fitting. And because it is such an immersive experience, it is also, for the most part, a wordless and conceptless experience. When we are using the feeling function, we are evaluating and making decisions without the need to put this process into words or forms or definitions. The extroverted feeler will be focusing this evaluation process on the external world, the concerns of the group or the tribe or other individuals. But for us introverted feelers, this entire wordless evaluation process of value and worth is subjective, internal, and focused on ourselves as individuals. Hence, the INFP's renowned quality of prioritizing our values, our authenticity, and our inner truth. So, introverted feeling does not equate to being hyper-emotional or reactive, but more so to being attuned to a wordless, immersive, internal process of sifting through information and experience in order to decide what we should align ourselves with, what should become a part of our expression and a part of our lives. This highlights why dominant FI users are known for prioritizing authenticity and internal development well over material or external gain or success. The way that I perceive and experience using introverted feeling is that I am digesting life internally, absorbing information and being transformed internally by life's experiences. In many ways, I experience FI as a process of alignment and becoming, aligning with what is most important to me and also becoming the expression of what is most important to me. Of course, relating to life in such an internal and also formless way can certainly make it hard for us INFPs to A, express and define our wordless knowing of things, and B, externalize and materialize what we are cultivating and becoming internally. hence the stereotype of INFPs being underachievers, daydreamers, or procrastinators. I will say for myself that although I love to be in action, I have a ton of energy and discipline and determination, I do experience myself as someone whose internal achievements far outweigh my external ones, meaning that I think the greatest strengths and successes of my life so far lie in who I have become versus what I have done. But there are a few things that I would love to address in regards to the challenges that introverted feeling poses to expressing and materializing externally. First of all, I think that these difficulties can truly take a toll on our self-esteem and our sense of power with our lives. And I think it doesn't help that many of the loudest and most prominent collective agreements and social structures seem to devalue and ignore the processes and expressions that are the most natural for an introverted feeler type. I think it's true that a lot of attention and hype is given to externalized worth, externalized progress, and externalized achievement. And in a lot of ways, it's obvious why, because the external expressions are visible, measurable, and easy for an outsider to understand, while the internal processes and results of introverted feeling are invisible, immeasurable, and difficult for an outsider to understand. That said, while there can be necessity and value and a time for asking and aiding in bringing changes to the workings of the world, I do think that the most powerful place to start change is with ourselves. And all of this to say that life never promised to be unchallenging. There is virtually no one with a difficulty-free life, and every personality type has its challenges. I think as introverted feelers, it is not outside of our power to stand up for ourselves, stand up for the way that we process life, stand up for the priorities we have, and stand up for the gifts that we bring to our lives and to the world, such as truthfulness, integrity, depth, sensitivity, a sense of the sacred, humaneness, uniqueness, kindness and acceptance towards others and their own truths, the freedom to be who we really are, and deep internal strength. And for the most part, it is also within our power to develop and mature into well-balanced individuals with a range of strengths and aptitudes. Introverted feeling is our dominant function, and it comes with its own strengths and weaknesses, but it is not the only function at our disposal. I discussed the other functions in the INFP function stack in previous videos, so I won't go into detail with that here, but the gist of it is that we can develop the strengths and skills of our other functions to help balance our personality and help us move beyond the difficulties and limitations of our dominant function, as well as make the most out of the gifts that introverted feeling brings to ourselves and to our lives and to others. Thank you for watching. This is the last video in the series on the INFP function stack, and I hope that you find pride and playfulness in being an INFP type, as well as a sense of power and beauty in your personality type.